What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91, or maybe we'll have a more strategic race here on a track where overtaking can be difficult. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down to turn 1 of this 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Phillips. They're still relatively new to a sport which does have a high learning curve and, of course, little tolerance for mistakes.
And this is something that has ended the career of many a young driver, as that leap up to Formula One proves to be too much. But luckily in this case, I'd say they're doing a good, solid job, and the risk the team took in signing them is definitely starting to pay off.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Vettel, Alexander Albon and Sainz, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Grosjean and Lando Norris. Hamilton, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi and Perez, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Pierre Gasly and Daniel Kvyat. Phillips and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid, and with preparations all...
Mano reglisti penjono. Pojďte, mano neglí.
This lap, push hard on the in-lap. Caution, caution. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. Don't forget, box this lap. Complete, go now. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. There's only one lap of fuel remaining. Can't complain about that one. That was an excellent drive.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability